Today gonna discuss about the cloud computing. Then first we look at our content. Then introduction of cloud computing. The three level of cloud computing: implementation of cloud computing, private cloud, public cloud, hybrid cloud, benefit of cloud computing in business, and conclusion. Then know the what is cloud computing. Cloud computing is a dynamic provision of providing hardware, software, and service from third parties over the networks. The cloud computing is interface computing where the shared resource software informations are provided to computation on the device or demand. The cloud computing is a computing platform from the next generation of internet. Then cloud computing is a broad concept of using internet allow people to access technology enabled service. The name of the cloud presentations of the internet on the network diagram. This technology is named as a cloud computing. Then cloud computing characteristics. The cloud computing basically works on the principle of pay as you use. Cloud computing is customers do not own this physical infrastructure, instead avoid the capital expenditure by letting uses from third-party provider. The consumer resource as a service and pay only for resource that's used. The three level of cloud computing is infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Then the infrastructure as a service. In this, plain cloud provider can provide the technical infrastructure for your applications. Organization provides your the different resource and application. This resource may be storage space, hardware, networking, component, etc. Customer need not have to be bothered about specifying what kind of hardware you want to, what is the name of this computer server you are running on. In the real means can rent someone else hardware by a minute, hour, or monthly basis. Then platform as a service. The component of the cloud computing can be defined as a set of software and product development tools that allow to develop to create applications and provide the platform. In other words, they allow you to build applications that are delivered to users through the internet and run on the provided infrastructure. The Salesforce.com, which comes out the only the infrastructure part, there's also program language platform. Then software as a service. It provide any software application as a service through the cloud. We have using the SaaS for your in public domain with free email service being the most classical example. This is a design someone can offer. You can host set software running on the platform and the infrastructure that you do not own, pay or some element of utilization. The email service obtain a Google and Yahoo etc. Then the advantages. The client does not have any worry about the buying anything. He pays for what you use. He can access service anywhere or anytime, but he cannot own it. Then implementation of cloud computing: public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud. What is public cloud? Public cloud as also external cloud outside our organizations provide the infrastructure, software, and platform required to implement the cloud. The public cloud is follow pay as you go model. You only the pay for the service you can consume. The email is the most basic, oldest type of service often in the public cloud. Advantage: the user does not have worry about the managing the underlying the IT infrastructure. Then private cloud. A private cloud is reference to having your own private cloud computing infrastructure, so instead for the relying on an external public cloud service provider infrastructure you would be have on. In the private cloud, as called internal cloud, the infrastructure for the implementing the clouding is completely organized the maintaining by enterprise. It is the most situated for large organizations and enterprise. Then hybrid cloud. To assemble the benefit of the both approaches, private and public cloud, newly implementation of model has been developed the manage both model into the integrated solution. Then cloud computing service in simple form is search engine and webmail. Cloud computing service is more complex form which web-based office application, online photo, document sharing. Then more complex form is large-scale web-based storage and computing power for building your own applications. Then benefit of cloud computing. The cloud computing help to cut down the cost, ability meet to changing the using demand quickly, usually within a minute. Environmental friendly, rapid elasticity. It is the easy to install and the technology. It is the demand server service. Then in the event of this, just data usually not lost, easily developed by on web specific applications running in the cloud. It is the highly automated. Cloud computing free up internal resources whenever there is realize the user. Cloud computing help to business become the mobile. Drawbacks of cloud computing. Operator limit or the no technical support available. When there are technical issue, you may lose access your data or your application. No control on traffic and data access speed. If the company hosted the application goes out the business, you may lose access in your data or application permanently. Cloud computing drawbacks. The potential regulatory complaint issues. You must have internet connection. Then cloud computing. Debate of the centralized process within a green and black terminal screen in the mainframe day. Instead, we have the access to rich web application with your information and file stored in cloud and available at all the time. Whether the laptop's computer in the middle of mountain. Conclusion. Cloud computing offer real alternative of the IT departments of improvement, flexibility and trim down to the cost. Market are developing for the delivery of software application platform and infrastructure as a service to IT developments over the cloud. The service are readily accessible on the pay per use basis and offer great alternative to businesses that need to flexible rent infrastructure and on a temporary basis or to reduce the sell cost. This is all about cloud computing.